So welcome back, guys. This is gonna be another video about cables, which I was kind of hesitant to do, but I've received a few questions, both from part of my viewers who are audiophiles and then some people who are studio engineers about what cables I use, what power cables should they buy. And my take on it is you should not buy, you should make your own. And so I thought, hey, I will just make a video about what I've done so far and what I think is the best solution, at least for me. And then I do hope that it will be useful for you, or there will be some takeaways for you. So let's get started. Okay, so for a start, of course, you will need some tools like heat guns, knives, anything to shrink. You need flush cutters, crimping tools, or tools for soldering as well. And then if you need design, then of course you might need to buy some expandable sleeves as well, depending on your needs. And in my case, the favorite cable for me right now is the Acrolink 4030, which is a Japanese-made cable with conductors from Mitsubishi. And I think this is the best for the price really that you can get right now. It's not the easiest to get, but you still can buy it anywhere in the world. And I did describe some aspects about power cables in my previous video, so watch that. But you see the stats here, and it meets all my criteria for perfect cable, power cable in this case. And it has very good shielding as well, and some extra bells and whistles, of course. And yeah, after removing the insulation material, I slid on some FP-209 Furutech forks that has the largest surface area when you use proper plugs like Furutech plugs or Oyaide plugs. Some people, as you can see, like to crimp it with hydraulic crimpers. I don't have those, and I don't believe that's the best option with a power cable that we use in a studio that's not really prone to mechanical outside influence. I like to solder. And so the way I do it, and you can see the rhodium plated 209 here. So if the conductor is slightly bigger, I will just trim off the excess. It's not really a big deal. I will slide it in, no twisting. So it just slides on perfectly fine. And so the conductors might show a little bit where you see the Furutech logo or the text there. And I will just use some proper solder that I will show you in a minute. Solder it. And then after that's done and there are no gaps, I will just use Teflon tape and wrap it around. Of course, I don't wrap around the fork itself, but everything below that. So, of course, you need a few of these, right? 6 to be exact for every cable. And then in terms of the best solder that I use or I've found is the SS-47, which is easy to work with. You might have better ones out there, but I found it to be easy to work with and very, very good quality. Now, if you need simpler ways or cheaper ways to do things, and you can buy cheaper cable that still is shielded and has the proper gauge. And I'm not really sure how you call this one, but so I think that's a sleeve, right? That's how you call it. So I use some OCC copper sleeves on top of the conductor. I am using a Viha crimper tool, which is a very good tool, and I would advise you to buy a proper crimping tool. Crimp as hard as you can, and well, as you can see here, it has a pattern of its own. It's a double crimping pattern. So in this case, I'm doubling this up. So you see the end result here. And of course, as far as this sleeve is a little bit longer, I will just use some flush cutter to trim off the end. And I repeat this exact same process 3 times per side. And trim off the excess. And yeah, that's the end result. There's no solder needed here. It's only crimping. then you can use a relatively cheap plug or whatever you have at hand and terminate it. Then you would have a much better power cable than the usual Chinese one. And in this case, I would highly suggest using Furutech, cheaper Furutech plugs. I think those are the easiest to work with and the best. And you see some of my cables that I've terminated. So I hope this was useful for you. And if you have any questions, as always, let me know in the comments.